here as well. God to see your praise my heart compelled. Righteousness and truth be your throne. Love and faithfulness yours to own. Those who praise your name gain blessings. Walking in the light of your presence. Get them up in the air. Raise them up in prayer. Stack up your hands, lift them up, get them up in the air. Raise them up in prayer. Getting busy.
Hey guys, it's time for the kids to be released. You're a kid, you want to make the kids church? Let's give it up for our kids tonight, amen?
Okay, tonight I got a video for you from Furious Love. Alright, I really want you guys to listen. And I don't ask this all the time, but if we could just have quiet for I think it's like 2.5 minutes, because it really delves into what I'm talking about tonight. And if you've seen Furious Love, it'll touch your heart. If you haven't seen Furious Love, it'll touch your heart. So tonight, let's watch this, if we could, please. What do you guys think when you hear something like that? See, when I started Broken Chains Church, that's who I wanted to reach. And guess what? You're here. We're here. I have watched this clip, I bet, 50 times. And each time I watch it, it pulls at my heartstrings. Because I see a church full of people that are messed up. The church out there sees a church of people that are perfect. Am I wrong? The church out there says, you know, you got to look a certain way and act a certain way. This church, I've never ever told you guys how to act and how to look and whatever else. A lot of things have happened in the last couple of weeks. And I want to share my heart tonight. Is that okay? And I'm asking you guys again for the 15th time tonight. I need you to be quiet. I don't need you to talk. Because God's got a word for us tonight. And I believe that I have really been in my spirit just kind of stirred up. Because I want the sick, and I want to see the sick touched by Jesus. And when I watch this guy, I think about just that. I saw a church full of people that were messed up, screwed up mentally, physically. I saw a church full of people who come in with messed up situations and walking out the doors totally free. I didn't see a perfect person. I didn't see a perfect Christian. Because in my 21 years, I've never seen a perfect Christian. I prayed that stinky people would come in off the street. I prayed that people would come in that normally never ever would step foot inside a church. I prayed that an alcoholic would come in here and get delivered. I prayed that God, I don't want to just say I want to be the church, I want to be the church. I want to accept you as you are and have God touch you like a bolt of lightning and walk out of here changed and delivered and set free. Come on. I prayed that there would be things that were going on normally that wouldn't happen in your normal everyday church. Guess what? You're in it. Because I've seen an alcoholic come in off the street. I've watched a homeless guy come into this church. Now the thing of it is, that gets me, is how are we going to treat him once we get him in here? And honestly, I don't care if you get mad at me at the end of this message. Because if you get mad, you're in the wrong church. What do we expect as a church if we have a bunch of people who are coming in here and just being themselves, and that's all they know? Things are going to get ripped off. Things are going to go bye-byes. It's temporary anyway. And I want to say something to you guys. If you came into Broken Chains Church to steal something, come and ask me first. Because if any of you know me, I will probably give it to you. Don't rip it off. In the last few weeks, you guys, I've had 2 cans out here sitting outside. Out here, they're for donations for the coffee. That's gotten ripped off. There's been an iPod ripped off. I'm sharing my heart tonight, and I'm not looking at any one individual. I'm telling you guys, here's the way it is. There's been stuff ripped off from Broken Chains Church, but that's what I prayed for. I prayed that the sick would come in. I prayed that the sick would walk out healed and delivered and set free. I prayed for the prostitute. I prayed that the sick, that is you and me, would come into this church and be delivered and their chains would be broken and they would be set free by the blood of Jesus Christ. Not by the blue walls of the building. Go ahead and laugh. I would too if I was in the audience. But honestly, you guys, all right, joke's over. Got that out. I messed up. But understand, when I prayed about people coming into this church, I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed for people just like you guys. Because I've seen how the church has been operating for a long time, and it's messed up. Our theology is messed up. We call it okay. We call it, oh God, you know, we want the sick, we want the homeless, we want this, we want that, we want all these people to come in, but once they get in there, it's like, oh man, that's not what I wanted. They're just acting like they normally would. What do you think a thief is going to do when he comes into the church? Put on his little Christian mask and go, oh, I'm in the church now, I'm not going to steal anything. Oh, I'm in the church now, I can't show that I smoke a cigarette. Oh, I'm in the church, I better put on my mask and I'm not going to say the F word at the coffee area. Oh, I'm in the church now, I better act a certain way because Pastor Bob won't like me. You know what, if you're putting on a mask, God already knows who you are in the first place. A couple years back, many years back, I was going to this church and they had this volleyball camp. And I'm just new into the faith. And when we went over to WPOS, which is a Christian radio station, Southern Gospel type stuff, we went into the gym and they had all these nets set up. And here I am, still dabbling in the Christian stuff and still kind of dabbling in the worldly stuff. And I walked in there and I'm like, oh, I'm really big into volleyball. Some of you have played volleyball over at Rick's with me. I love volleyball. And when I get into volleyball, I get into volleyball. And if the ball hits in front of me and I don't get it, back then, something might have come out of my mouth that wasn't exactly the Christian realm, if you know what I mean. But the whole time I'm playing volleyball, I'm thinking, I need to put on my little Christian mask. We're at WPOS. I better act the right. You know what? Who are you? I really want you to think about this. Who are you? Are you going to be the Christian that goes around wearing a mask, acting one way in church and acting another way in the world? Or are you going to be everything that God's called you to be and start breaking some things off? I'm not asking you to act like me, because I've got enough of my own problems and my own issues. But I am asking you to dive in. And I am asking you to find out who Jesus Christ is for yourself. And then God begins to change you and make you and mold you. And then you don't want to swear and do the things you once did because God's changing you. And God's putting you together and molding you and knitting you and getting rid of some of the old junk and breaking it off. I'm at the point in my life where I am not going to, in any way, shape, or form, get upset when this is what I prayed for. You get me? I want the sick and the lost. Because I'll be honest with you, and this is going to offend some of you too, and like I said, I really don't care. I'm sorry, maybe that sounds wrong to some of you, but I really don't care. I would much rather hang out with people who are themselves all the time than walk around with a bunch of Christians who act one way on Monday and a different way on Sunday or Friday night. At least they're real. And at least they speak their heart and their mind. I'm tired of walking around the church with cookie-cutter Christians. Everybody the same. I'm a Christian, you know, walking around the exact same way. I've been around the church for a long time. I love this church because God's making me and molding me. This church is what I want to see succeed. Me and God. You guys with me tonight? Do you understand what I'm saying? See, because I think this dream is exactly what the church should be. Why should we want just a bunch, why should we just want a Sunday morning where there's just a bunch of people who look just like us? Oh, let's go to the Moose Club today. Let's go to the Elks. Let's socialize with only who we want to socialize with. Let's do the same thing we did. I've done that noise. Every Friday night my parents would go out and go to the same club and act the same way, same bowling leagues. I don't want a bunch of the same people. I think it's awesome when I walk in here and I see a 60-year-old with no piercings and no tattoos talking to a freaked out guy like me and we get along. You don't see that in every church. The blue heads hang out with the blue heads. The tattoo people hang out with the tattoo people. The really freaky people, not mentioning any names, there's a couple of you here, go hang out with those people. The women hang out with the women, the men hang out with the men, and the kids go in the back and be themselves and go hang out with themselves. Isn't that what the church has become? Oh, let's drive our nice cars and put our nice suits on and act just like everybody else does. I'm part of the crowd and I'm going to be just like them. Are we tired of that? I love it when I come in here and see an awesome church service with people just like who I used to be and be conformed into the new creature that they're supposed to be and see a change, even if it's ever so slight. I would much rather have somebody change just a little bit than act like they've got it all together and everything's all great and boy, their life is all praise God and wonderful and I'm all Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Oh, it's awesome. I just love the Lord. And the next week, you're hearing about how they messed up again. How about a guy who stays on the path, messes up and gets right back on the horse and says, you know what, I screwed up and I'm not going to do that again. What if we had a church like that? What if we had a church full of misfits? A bag of just everybody and everything. Either I'm stepping on some toes or I'm making no sense, one of the two. Either way, I really don't care. Because my Bible says to the least of these, when we do something unto the least of these, we're doing it unto Jesus Christ. When we do something to help somebody out, we're doing it unto Jesus. I was driving down the road. Now I'm going to tell on me, which I do a lot. I was driving down the road this week going over to visit my wife, complaining because my cell phone got turned off because the bill didn't get paid. Most of the time I'm complaining because I want to throw the thing out the window, but now I'm complaining because the bill's not paid. And I'm getting in the turn lane, and I'm complaining because I can't even call my wife to see how much money is in the bank to see if we can pay the bill. And I'm sitting in the turn lane on Heatherdowns, getting ready to turn over where my wife works. And there's a guy that's standing there that says I would work for food. And I'm thinking how stupid I am. P-Bob, are you acting the walk? Are you talking the talk? You going to worry about your stupid cell phone, or are you going to help this guy out? And I'm like, Lord, you're absolutely right. So I pulled out $2 that I had, and I gave it to him. Now some of you would say, why are you giving that guy $2? You know what he's going to do with it. I really don't care what he does with it. I know my heart's clean. And when I get stand in front of God, it's not going to be about what he did with it. It's going to be about what I was told to do. Because if you're so worried about where your $2 is going, your heart wasn't right to give it in the first place. I am so torn in my spirit because I've watched God do some awesome things in my life, and I want to see some more. I want to see some more. I want to see somebody get their hands laid on them and be touched by God and never, ever be the same. Be so twisted and crazy and freaked out for Jesus Christ that nothing will ever turn them away because they felt something from the one and only true God.